Welcome to EJH British Cars. Well, as you may know or not know, the early TRs 2344A use a four-cylinder distributor cap where the wires are mounted in sideways and they don't use plug-in ends like you're used to on modern cars or maybe less ancient cars. So I bought the stuff to make up a set of wires for this because I wanted to use solid core and I wanted to have a color on them. So I have all the bits and pieces and I thought I'd show you how to do it. And as a bonus, I'll show you what you have to do if you're going to use an old style Lucas Sport Coil. So let's get started. So this is the old style cap with the sideways mounted wires, and you'll see that they don't have any rubber booted ends. I made this one up just to get started. So we're going to show you how to do that. This is also solid core wire, and I wanted a color, so can't really buy them to fit all this. It was just easier just to buy the pieces. I picked up this set of wire ends on the Jungle website. This is Glarks, G-L-A-R-K-S, and they have several different kinds, straight and angled. You can use either on this. I like to use the angled, they look a little more period. And these are various pieces. They have two different kinds of angle tops, these short ones and these longer ones. And this looks more like what they used back in the day. And I also got this wire from the Jungle website. This is from Tom's, T-O-M''S, and this is just 7mm red wire. If you just, when you're in Amazon, just search for red ignition wire, I'm sure it'll pop up. It was not very expensive, any of this stuff. So the first thing we're going to do is when we put we're going to be using these type of ends, which have a little spring clip on them. You're going to want to cut this back about a ½ inch just to strip the wire off. So let's do that. So I mean, you can use proper wire strippers or anything else, but with these heavier, this has got a lot of insulation on it. And I like to use just a sharp knife. Just put it on the table and roll it. Cuts right through it. You can feel it when it hits the wire. Don't push too hard, you'll cut it. And there, that's it. Then I like to tighten those winds up. And then one thing I found that makes life easier, you'll notice the little ends are slightly bent in. We want about double that angle. So this is just a pair of angled needle nose, but use anything that's small. And that's probably about enough. And you take your piece of wire, fold it back over, and then you want to put this end on so that that wire is straight down. And then you want to push it in, have it so it's about halfway in this gap. It's not really critical. I like to have it a little bit past the end of the tangs. I think that's the big thing. And you don't want to get too close to the end or you'll start to have trouble when you're putting your spark plugs on. So just take a big pair of Lyso alignment pliers and start by crimping those in a little bit. And if you look, these lineman pliers have this big notch on them, and a lot of those sort of wire stripper handles you get have a similar thing. So you want to put the protrusion of that into the center of those teeth and work your way across. There's the first pass. Push it again. And just a little bit of that last one. Turn it around so we can get at it a little easier. And you can see that that's made that really dig into there. And then we want to go so the round of those teeth is facing straight up, and get your pliers on there straight across, and that'll push it in and down. And you should wind up nicely clamped, and those teeth are just touching in there, and that's good, because it'd be probably better to put a little lubricant in. This is some dry silicone lube, We'll just shoot some down there. And a little piece on the body of the piece. And then slide it on in there. And that slides right in. I don't know if you can see it, but that silver piece is right in the bottom. So from there, I'll put this on plug number 2. Now this distributor rotates counterclockwise, so it's 1, 3, 4, 2, which also means if you read across like you're reading a book, 1, 2, 3, 4. So that makes life easy. That you've got this, you don't want to twist this wire and put tension in it, so it's just so it falls naturally at the angle that it's at. Make sure it's pushed in all the way and bottomed. Hold it so it doesn't rotate, and flip it over. And there you go. So we're going to do that 2 more times, and then we'll build the coil wire. Now, I can't find the piece I had to do this, so I can finish the video up. I'm just going to show you this is not exactly the correct part, but it's the right way. So typically you would have a brass washer that's about this size with a slightly smaller center hole. This one's stainless steel, and there's a little brass one there. Then a brass, I would think a pan head sheet metal screw. This is the piece that you need to use a sport coil of the old style with the thread end caps, and a lot of the old distributors are like that too. You just take this, get it on the wire center, and screw it in. Just like that. And this screw's a bit bigger than you normally would use, which probably means it's going to bind up on the this piece a bit. It does a little bit. So for the sake of demonstration, I'm just going to trim that down a little bit with my trusty jackknife, Swiss Army knife. We really want to get this small enough so that that cap will spin on this wire, because if you got to take it apart, you don't want to be taking the distributor apart as well. There we go. As you see, got the sport coil mounted already, and that just goes in here, and that turns on there like that, and snug it down. And then we just do this the same way we did all the rest of them, so probably about there. Slip that off. What I found on all of these was there's a piece of plastic flash right where the screw came through. So if when you back the screw down, you can then pull that out of the way. Otherwise, it won't let you put the wire in far enough. And all 5 holes were like that on this cap. I'm going to tell you, I've tried to do this on resistance core wires, but this end really doesn't work very well. I mean, I suppose you could put a long piece of wire like you do when you put the brass ends on for like a regular Chevrolet or something, and go in a long way, and then try to make sure that when you put the screw through, it touches that piece of metal, which, boy, that would be difficult to do. So we're using solid core wire, so it doesn't matter. And of course, the regular 4-up distributor cap will fit this, like you use on an MGB or something, because they're all just Lucas distributor caps. I just like the look of that. You know, my sister hit me on the head when I was a kid, and I've never been the same. So that should do it. So the only thing left to do now, this has got a Petronics in it, and these are still long. I need to cut them down and put new ends on, and I think I'll put these 90-degree corners on like that, just because I like how they look better. And that should do it. All nice and pretty and red. They match kind of the cap there and the color of the car. He says men can't accessorize. This video is kind of short, so I thought I'd show you this. So this is for the vacuum advance and the fuel line. So this J hook goes underneath the lower bolt on the thermostat cover, and then the small slot is for the vacuum line, the large slot is for that's the fuel line there, and it typically goes that way. So let's get that hung in, and then we'll do just more. So this is the 1/8 inch copper line that I bought to connect it. Now normally this distributor would have had a threaded fitting on it, but this is a replacement distributor, and it has just a line for a vacuum port, and that is bigger than this. So these came with the ferrule kits. I'm not quite sure how they're used on that, but there it is nonetheless. I suppose you put one size smaller in a ferrule, this is what you would use. So I just soldered that on, and that is close enough to be in this side. It's still slightly smaller, but the rubber hose will connect it. So what I'm going to do is feed the copper line through the hole in that clamp we were working with yesterday, bring it around, and it comes up into the back there. So let me get that fed through. Next we put this fitting on, then we put the little olive on. That's the port right there. You can see the threads where the nut's going to go. So that all just slid down, but that's okay. We're going to push this pipe in as far as it's going to go, and then we'll bring that fitting up. I think what I'll do is I'll put a zip tie on it right there underneath the spout for the radiator, so it's not really obvious, but that'll keep that from vibrating. And here it is all installed, starting there, run under to here, zip tied there, went through the clamp over here. Here's that rubber line in place. And try to keep the rubber as straight as fairly straight, and I think that should be good. That putting that clamp in, this thing is missing all the time on these things. Really sturdies that up a lot. I hope you enjoyed that. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share, and we'll see you next time.